Partner right here,
Yes.
Drea Castro.
Yes, Drea Castro. I'm the head of production with Birds and Sawyer and also one of the producers.
This premiere project is a character-driven action film. It's about loyalty, survival, trust, and it's brought to life by an incredible international cast such as Luke Goss, Byron Mann, Catherine McNamara, and of course Alden Richards and Max Collins. This is all under the direction of Keone Waxman, and this project presents the kind of globally relevant, rounded storytelling project that Los Angeles Studios, Burns and Sawyer Studios, and Myriad Entertainment are looking to create globally.
As a Filipina, I am proud to be helping produce this project. Burns and Sawyer championed the idea to film Big Tiger here in the Philippines, not simply for its locations, but for our people, our talent. From day one, this production has been built on a great collaboration with Filipino artists and craftsmen playing a central role both in front and behind the cameras. This film highlights our country's beautiful locations, our great talents, as well as showcasing the Philippines as a key destination for film and TV. We wrapped Big Tiger this morning, as Biani said.
Literally, 6 a.m.
Exactly. We are really excited to share our teaser. Play the teaser. Ow! Introduce our cast and our crew. Biani, go for it.
All right, let's have Matthew Mosser, producer and CEO of Los Angeles Studios. Mary Acevedo, producer and CEO of Burns and Sawyer. We have Keone Waxman, writer and director of Big Tiger. All right, and now the stars, the Big Tiger, Alden Richards, who is also known as executive producer on this project. Okay, Catherine McNamara. Byron Mann. Yeah. And our very own Max Collins. Come on out. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. How did everyone feel about the teaser?
Can't wait!
Oh, great. So we're going to start off with a couple of questions from our director and our cast. I'm going to start off with you, Sir Keone. Grab that microphone right there. Tell us, how does it feel to get back to directing another action film?
It's great. I do a lot of action movies, and the past couple films I've done have been rom-coms, actually. And so I've been away from the action genre for a while, but it's fantastic to get back to it. Working with some friends I've worked with before, some new people, and working in Manila and the Philippines has been incredible. It's unbelievable.
Alden, what made you want to take an executive producer role in this film and a role? Why?
I think it's high time for the Philippines also to be shown in a film that will be released globally, and we have so much beauty in the country. And I'm just so proud of how the movie turned out, and of course with all these very talented people that I was able to work with, it also opened my eyes into a lot of things that there's a lot of things to be learned in terms of production. And of course being able to be part of the film on the aspect of being an actor is also a great opportunity, because this is my first time to be able to act on a project that will be released globally, and it's the first time that I'm playing an antagonist role in this film.
With a twist.
With a twist. Relax lang daw, guys.
He's a lovable antagonist.
Thanks, God.
Okay, next one is for you, Byron. With your experience as an international actor filming across several Asian countries, including Hong Kong, China, Thailand, and now the Philippines, what did you enjoy most about filming here?
The food. It's delicious. I'll tell you, one of the biggest surprise, I mean not surprise, but one of the biggest advantage of shooting here is that everybody speaks English, which is not so in China or Korea or Thailand where I've worked. So it makes the production a lot more smoother, and you don't need translators on the set per se. So.
Kat, this is for you. As a female action star, tell us about your role in this film and the action in this film and how you feel about it.
Well, obviously, as you can see from the trailer, it's fantastic. I actually, unfortunately, was only on set for a few days, so I had a fight with Max, which we did quite well, and she crushed it. But I'm excited to see the rest of it. The folks that are the stunt coordinators on this were some of the people that originally taught me to fight back 10 years ago when I first started and all this. So it's been a lovely full circle moment to be back on set with Ron and Diana and get to meet the rest of the stunt crew here. And truly, this has been such a phenomenal experience. And I've made some real friends, I think.
All right, Max, what was your experience like working with the international cast?
It was so much fun, and it was so humbling, I think, for us, because, there's so many things that we don't know. Like, there's similarities, but there's so many differences, and it just reminds you, to always, be on your toes as an actor for me, and, I think, our Filipino our Filipino prod was all, on our toes, because we wanted to make the most out of it, learn as much as we could, and really absorb what we were learning from our foreign counterpart. And at the same time, they're so lovely. They were so kind to us. Everybody from our foreign counterpart were so generous with their knowledge, and I'm just so thankful to be part of this project. They were amazing, and it was such an amazing experience.
Awesome.
Keone, this is for you.
What makes this film different from other action or martial art movies?
That's a good question because doing a lot of action movies, you deal with a lot of martial arts, you deal with a lot of sort of plot-driven stories, and oftentimes you're dealing with action that is sort of what the movie's about, not really about the characters. This is a character-driven piece, right? All the characters have elements of pretty drastic arcs. Shooting it here again, you're dealing with less of a specific martial art, but at the same time, like Kat was saying, our stunt coordinator and fight choreographer Ron Bilecki and his wife Diana Inasanto, who's from here. Her father is Donna Inasanto, but they know very specific Philippine martial arts and so forth. So we were able to work in a lot of that. So it makes it different. It also makes it different when it's a movie more about people because they're fighting instead of big action set pieces, which of course we have a couple, but it's different.
Awesome. Alden, this one's for you. So obviously this role has been different from your previous works. How did you go through the process of just preparation?
Well, since it's my first time to be able to play an antagonist role in a project, it's all so new to me. I've been playing the protagonist for almost a decade in my career. So, but the beauty, I've been dreaming about playing this kind of role because it's been a dream of mine to be also like the bad guy in storytelling. So in terms of prep, constant communication with the director, and of course our Keone Waxman is our director and writer, so it's a one-stop shop for me. So a lot of questions on how does he want the character to be done and to be executed, and at the same time, bringing in back knowledge of the previous villains that I've watched in the past, like how to be different, how to make this new, and there's a lot of new experiences in terms of feelings, emotions, the way body language, and of course, since this is an action film, there's a lot of stunt preps. So I think that really contributed on how I was able to make John Lynch full circle in the story.
Byron, this is for you. What makes the Filipino crew so special?
What, sir?
The Filipino crew. We had
Oh.
majority Filipino crew, so how is it working with them?
Everyone's super friendly here, which is, again, a little unusual for among other Asian countries. Not to say that they're unfriendly in other countries, but just everyone is super, I think maybe it's part of the Filipino culture. It's very friendly and it's very welcoming, and I just really enjoyed it. And also very artistic. There's a really strong artistic bent to the Filipino culture that I've noticed, so.
Okay. So, Kat, what was it like working together with Keone Waxman?
I love working with Keanu Waxman. This is not my first time working with Keanu Waxman, and I would do so anytime, anywhere. I was lucky enough to work with him on a rom-com this time last year, and that's when we started talking, because, you know, both coming from the action world, we hadn't done comedy in a while, and then he brought up Big Tiger, and immediately I went, I would give my left leg to do this film. How do we make this happen? How can I be a part of it? Let's go. And then a year later, here we are, and I'm so grateful. He is one of the most honest and communicative and present directors I've ever worked with, and I'm so grateful every single time, because, you know, with Keone, he's always going to communicate, he's going to keep you in the loop, and he's so incredibly collaborative and patient with actors at, you know, 6 a.m. when we're half out of our minds, but, you know, we're still there.
Max, this is for you. How did you like working across from Alden Richards as an antagonist?
It's so different because I worked with him on, we did Ilustrado together before. Everyone remembers Ilustrado, diba? So we were like, I mean, that's totally different from who our characters were in Big Tiger. It was so weird to see him like as a, can I say bad words? Like, as an asshole. Like, you know, Alden, we love Alden. He's always so sweet, but just to see him as a total bad boy was like amazing. It's sexy. It's a sexy thing. Guys, you should do it more. I think that would be great. I think his fans would love to see more of that also.
Okay. He's sitting there enjoying it. Okay, Keone, as part Filipino, how does it feel for you to return to another land to work on this project?
I'll tell you, I grew up in Hawaii. My mother's side is from the Philippines, but I never came to the Philippines before this movie. But I grew up in a family in Hawaii that, you know, we ate Filipino food. Everything seems very familiar, even though I've never been there. So to come here and make a movie was a dream. My daughter actually came to visit because she's never been here. Yeah. So it's just been one of those things where it feels really like a homecoming, even though I've never been here before. Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keone, and our talented cast. As we mentioned earlier, this film came together for 3 supporting companies: Los Angeles Studios, Burton Sawyer Studios, and Marriott Entertainment. And I'd like to give them the mic to discuss about future plans and how they felt about working on this project. We're going to start off with Matt. He's our supervising producer and CEO of Los Angeles Studios. Let's give a round of applause for Matt. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about Los Angeles, their mission, their history, their goals?
Yeah, so Lux is a Los Angeles-based production company. We do film and television domestically in the U.S. and all over the world, obviously. And we kind of, our model is an end-to-end production model, so all the way from development to finance to production to post and international sales and distribution. So when, you know, the changing movie market that we're in right now, we've had to find different ways to make movies and keep storytelling and finding new ideas and being creative with the financing and all that. So when Mary and I met, I think it was kind of meant to be, where we were both as both CEOs, we were in a place in our companies that with the industry that we're having to find a way to pivot and find new avenues, a way to keep making movies. So coming down here was perfect timing. And I know we've been talking a lot about, hey, the international, the U.S., this and that, but for us it was about coming down here and more about, we couldn't stop talking about the Filipino aspect to all of this and how the warmth and the culture and, you know, made us instantly want coming back. So I even flew back to LA for a couple of days, and I was meant to stay there. And I was back in LA, I'm like, you know what? I'm coming back. So I was back for 2 days, and I flew another 12 hours back, and here I am. So it's been an amazing experience.
Awesome. Matt, thank you for sharing that. Let's move on over to Mari, CEO of Burton Sawyer. Mari, can you give us a little history about your company?
Of course, first and foremost, magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. Okay? Yes. So Burton Sawyer, it's a Los Angeles-based company that's been in the industry since the 50s, 1954 to be exact. We ventured into production services, and now we're producing films. And I just want to just tell a little story here. So how I met Matt was obviously from Drea and Bihani, but I still have that Filipino in me, right? Like when I'm in LA, right? When I go to production houses, I bring them food, right? And then I keep going there, bringing them something, right? Until one day, just let's do business with her. So she stops coming here. Parang ganon. No, but anyway, no, I'm very, very happy with this whole, it started with the vision of, let's set up a studio here in the Philippines and bring productions here, right? And I'm grateful that with Lux, they've given us the opportunity to do this collaboration. And of course with Myriad Entertainment as executive producing. So it's a collaboration between 3 companies. And there's more. We're actually, so we're actually announcing that in 2026, there will be a slate of 9 to 10 films that we want to bring production here in the Philippines for. And this is about to showcase our talent behind the camera and in front of the camera. They're just very impressed about our actors here and the talent, our stunts. I'm a huge action fan, film fan, and this is the first time I've gotten involved in producing an action film. And I'm very, very happy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Keone, and the rest of the cast. Thank you. Okay. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Mary. Mary is, I work with Mary at Burns and Sawyer, and she just is a fighter for Filipino representation, especially in America. And it's just this is the goal. This is the vision that she's been trying to push forward. So thank you. Alden, can you tell us about Myriad Entertainment? Everybody knows Myriad already, but this is the first international film, correct?
Correct.
And so just talk about that.
Yeah, so Myriad Entertainment Corporation was formed way back September of 2022. So it's like my way of when I had the idea and my team had the idea of creating a production company. It's centered within the purpose of giving back to the industry. So I'd like to believe that this partnership that we have with Los Angeles and Burns and Sawyer is an opportunity to give back to the Filipinos, and for us to be proud of something that we have, and in that way we can showcase that by partnering with international companies and doing film here. So we're also able to give jobs to Filipinos and for them to be able to showcase their talent. And I'm just so amazed on how, of course, our actors and our director and most of our crews from the US are has nothing but good words with how Filipinos work. And nakaka-proud naman po talagang maging Filipino because of that. And with this film, with this first international partnership that we have as a company with Los Angeles and Burns and Sawyer, I assure you guys that this will not be the last, and there are more to come. Because we're just so proud of what we have done, and we want to do more, and we want to highlight the Philippines.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Matt, can you share with us about Alshira's company, Voltage Pictures? Can you tell us a little bit about Voltage Pictures?
So Voltage is our international distributor outside of the Philippines. Worked with them for quite a while now. They center on a lot of action, right? So this is right up their alley. And when we first came down here, it was kind of like, well, let's see how it works out, But then once we started sending footage back and really kind of seeing the performances and giving them a taste, it was like all of a sudden it was like, okay, I see what you guys are doing, okay. And then now it's full on, we have their full support, and they're really, after the holidays, it's going to be a full push on sales and distribution on the movie, and we're hoping that this is the prototype and kind of the beginning model that we can replicate over and over and over again, combining U.S. stars, Filipino stars, bringing crews together, cultures together, providing jobs on both sides of the ocean, and that's the vision.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. So why did you choose to film Big Tiger in the Philippines now? Why partner with Burns and Sawyer?
Yeah, so like Mary was saying, yeah, it started out where like it was gonna be, hey, we should find a way to work together and kind of lend our expertise and knowledge in physical production and down in the Philippines. But then it quickly turned into, well, why don't we just start with a project and just jump in, right? And then Mary introduced me to Alden and Myriad, and I think the three of us, it was like only 2 Zooms. And we're like, okay, let's do it. And
One face to face though.
yeah, one face to face. Actually, there was one. Yeah, yeah,
It was.
yeah. Alden was visiting LA, and I came by the office. So, and honestly, at first, we were more just interested because of personality and what you showed us. But then when we started doing more research about the industry down here and everything, we're like, this is something we need to check out because the production value. And I'm a cinematographer first, and just seeing the location photos when we were scouting on the texture and everywhere you point the camera, it's like these are things that in the U.S. you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to make it look like what you guys have down here naturally. The texture, the organicness of everything around you. Wherever you point the camera, it's cinematic. So I think it's a no-brainer. And there, we've shot other places in the world. But I'd have to say that this is the first place that we come that it wasn't a kind of awkward transition. It was immediately felt like comfortable and safe and at home and collaborative, and that the entire crew was here to just make the best movie possible. No egos or anything like that. And so that's why I wanted to come down here, and that's why we're going to be coming back again.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so for Miss Mari, Burns and Sawyer. This is the first project for Burns and Sawyer Studios here in the Philippines. What has it been like to film Big Tiger in your home country?
Yes, this has been a very absolutely amazing experience for everyone. And also I'm speaking on behalf of our team in Burns and Sawyer Studios here in the Philippines. It's a combination of us being so grateful and also us learning, right? Learning how the foreign, us, I'm in the US and I'm in the Philippines. I'm split. Dual. So, and learning, right? So, Filipino crew and every one of all of us here learned a lot. And I believe it's the same thing with the foreign, right? They learn, it's always a two-way street, always. Anyway, having said that too, there's a lot here for us Filipinos to offer, We have very talented Filipinos here, especially in the filmmaking industry. Very, very talented. And this is a way to showcase our talent, right? Because eventually the goal is, hopefully we can put the Philippines back in the map as a shooting destination in Southeast Asia. So dahan-dahan na ho. Let's do it one step at a time, right? So, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Alden, how was it co-producing with Lux and Burns and Sawyer? How was that experience for you?
They put the E on easy and everything. But I mean, since this is our first time to be able to work with global partners, I have nothing but good words for the team, Matt and Miss Mary. Thank you for this opportunity, and this just brings a huge honor to the company, which is Myriad, that we're able to produce and shoot a film that we can be proudly represent globally, and it was shot here in the Philippines. So lahat po tayo nandito ngayon ay kasama po tayo dun sa pelikula na na-produce namin dito, and for that we're eternally grateful, and I hope that this will not be the last time that we're going to be able to have a partnership, definitely, and we're just excited for the next ones to come. So we're very honored, and we're so thankful that this happened here in our country.
That's great. Thank you. Before we move on to opening the Q&A with you guys, Ms. Mari, would you like to share your future joint venture plans or any details about that?
Sure, 1,000%, yes. So the future, so there's this major collaboration between obviously Los Angeles, Burns and Sawyer, and of course Myriad will always, there's this collaboration. 2026, as mentioned earlier, there will be 9 to 10 films that we're trying to bring here. And this is for all of us, So something that we can, it's jobs for local, and at the same time, it's also benefiting the foreign production, right? Because when they come here, it's good. We make more films because it's really, what's the word? It's cost effective. So it's two-way ball. It's always two-way. They'll benefit from it. We benefit from it. That's why. It's just an amazing collaboration here. So that's what we're doing for 2026, and more films to come.
Wow.
No po, actually. It was never a hard decision for me to play as an antagonist role. Kasi po, parang I've been playing yun nga po, bida for the longest time, for over a decade in my career. And the hunger for learning as an actor has always been there. So I really wanted to venture on something that I've never done before. So again, given the opportunity to be able to play a role, which is John Lynch in the story of Big Tiger, is very rewarding for me, being able to work with these actors right here in the crew, and of course our very talented and patient director gave me a lot of playground to play with. So it was worth it, sir.
And you enjoyed it. You
Very
enjoyed
much.
the film.
Very much.
For my second question, why do you think this film will help benefit our film industry?
So if I could recall it correctly, there has not much of films that's shown globally and internationally that the full setting was shot here in the Philippines. Meron man pong iba, pero parang there's just small portions of, it's just one part of the whole film. But this film, which is Big Tiger, from start to finish, everything was shot here. So it just goes to show that hindi lang po Filipinos ang pwedeng shoot here in the country, and we can also offer it to, of course, global partners and international partners to highlight the country and also to give back and to make a project that Filipinos can be proud of and they can say, wow, this is shot in the Philippines.
Thank you, Alden, and congratulations to Big Tiger.
Salamat po.
Okay, so we have Kate Adaha.
Adahar.
Thank you,
Hi,
Kate.
Kate Adahar from Random Republica. My first question is for Max. Earlier, Catherine mentioned that you crushed it during the fight scene. Can you tell us more about that and how was it working with her?
She was lying. She was lying. No, you know what? Kat is amazing and she's an action star talaga. Sa mga hindi nakakaalam dyan, action star po talaga si Kat. So talagang marami siya nagawang pelikula, shows, ganyan, na action star talaga siya. I-search niyo siya. Napakagaling, napakahusay, but most of all, napakabait niya. She was so sweet and kind, and she made me feel like an action star too. Because she's like, you're doing it great. No, it's right, but it's wrong. You know what I mean? And she's such a great actress that she would fake it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I heard you. She's like, I'm an actress. No, I'm just acting. But she's amazing, and it's such a privilege to work with her. And yeah, she's lovely. You're gonna love her in the film. She's such a beautiful person inside and out.
Thank you. For Max, you talked about your for Max, sorry, for Kioni. You talked about your experience earlier, but from a director's perspective, how did our local stars Max and Alden fare in this project?
Oh, well, I mean, it goes without saying, they're fantastic, but, setting a story here and then being able to work with not just top talent, but talent that understands what we're doing and why we're doing it, it's liberating, because you're working with someone who understands their roles, who have, like Alden was just saying, has questions about how to play a part, and you just let them do their thing because they understand the world. Right? My job isn't to say do this. My job is to say, how about doing this? and he has so many answers, and Max has so many answers that it actually makes a lot of sense. So it was pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
Thank you. We have Jonu Estelore.
Hi, from Cinema Bravo. For Alden, this is your first international film, so how did you make the Filipino culture be introduced to your foreign partners, especially to your director?
A lot. I've been in, well, number one, of course, we're really known for our hospitality. And of course, the first question was, I asked them questions like, how do you find the people? How do you find the crew? Working with the Filipinos, how is it like being here? And like what they said a while ago, they have nothing but good words. They have nothing but good words for us. And yun naman din yung nakaka-proud talaga to be Filipino, talaga yung traits and our culture being introduced to international partners and people that's not from the country really appreciates us on how we do things. So also food, of course, I encourage them to try a lot of Filipino food. I think a few days ago, the day before we wrapped, nagdala, of course, the A-team brought in different kinds of street foods and tusok-tusok for our international partners to try. And also, but one thing I think that we have in common, like all of us storytellers, I'd like to consider everyone a storyteller here, regardless if they are on and off cam, is the passion and the determination for us to tell a great story, and at the same time highlight certain aspects of the story. And in this case, we're highlighting the Philippines. And I didn't know, of course, we all know that Matt is a cinematographer, but I didn't know, Matt, you saw a country like that. That, sa US po, when they want to like mount or make a scene that needs to be shot in such a way, given the current requirements, daming gastos, dami pong kailangan bayaran, etc. But with the Philippines, like how Matt said it, everything's just here. And we are just so blessed with sceneries and resources that we can showcase as part of projects like this, which is filmmaking.
We have Nas Tabares.
Thank you. For Alden, paano nag-start yung pagiging actor and producer mo dito sa Bitay?
Well, when we got the partnership, actually. I'm not new to like wearing different hats in one project, which is, of course, the recent one that naipakita po natin is Out of Order, where I was the producer, the director, and the actor at the same time. So, being able to do a lot of things in one particular project really opens up your keenness to learning. Parang mas eager kang matuto ng mga bagay na hindi mo pa na-experience. And right now, being to be part of this project as an executive producer and as a director means we get to really be more specific with the things that we want to show to our audience. And aside from just taking care of my role in the project, I had to make an initiative to really have an overview of the storytelling. Hindi lang kanya-kanya gaming, diba? But I'm just so happy and I'm just so blessed to be able to have this kind of partnership with these people right here. Kasi mababait sila. Hindi sila mahirap katrabaho. Or you're all great people and you're not hard to work with. That's what I was saying. So, before I was really skeptical on venturing out of my comfort zone, which is the Philippines, because I don't know how the people and I don't know how they do films outside the country. But I was wrong. Because of this experience, ang dami kong natutunan, and it really opened my eyes that there's always beauty in collaboration, and it's always best to encourage people to come and see the Philippines. I think that's what this is all about.
For Keone, Kat, and Byron, how was it like working with Alden as an actor and as a producer? Keone, Kat, and Byron.
Oh, okay. Also, real quick, working with Alden was great. I mean, again, like I said, he's playing a role that he's playing a role that he normally didn't play, a type, but that enables him to play against type and also to play into what he does really well. I mean, he's he's very charismatic, as you guys know. So to have a charismatic bad guy in a movie, or antagonist, not a bad guy, is fantastic. So there's a lot to go with that.
I can only echo that and say more. I mean, the thing that I love about the film industry is that no matter where you go in the world, you find the same people, you find the same spirit, you find the same joy for what we get to do and what we're so lucky to do every day. And that is tenfold here in the Philippines, and truly I had no idea that you had never played an antagonist until today. I truly had no idea, because he's so fantastic in the film, and we had the best time together. Although now I'm begging to do a film with him where we don't have to hate each other, because we can still kill people, but maybe like we kill the same people instead of trying to kill each other, because he's just such a joy to work with, and it's so wonderful to get to chat and kind of share experiences and learn about the industries and kind of how it's all the same, yet what the differences are and how we can learn from each other. And also, we have way too much fun on set. So anytime I can work with this man, I will.
I have the fortune of not ever having seen your romantic comedy films. So I didn't know what I was up against, right? So I just met him for the first time on set, kind of, right? So, and he was supposed to be the big villain in the movie. So it was very easy to work with him, obviously. And I just assumed that he was a bad man in real life. Which he's not, obviously.
No.
But he's very, very gracious and very charming and wonderful actor to work with.
Thank you.
Okay, Kiko Escuado from Tribune.
Hi, congratulations. My question is for Alden. Since this is your first international movie, bakit action film?
Oh, that's a great question actually. Kasi po parang with like the past projects that I've done, mostly alam naman po natin that I've done a lot of like dramas, rom-coms, and mostly it's series more than movies. But the appetite for action films outside the Philippines is quite huge. And that's also the reason why I didn't really know what that kind of appetite that the people has globally in terms of action movies. Na meron palang ganun. So parang after hearing like the side of that from our partners, I think it's worth the shot. And I think I was not wrong. It was all worth it. And hindi mo naman din talaga malalaman unless you try, right? So, talon lang. I just jumped into it, and so far I had the best experience of my life.
You mentioned you're a producer and actor here sa film. How hands-on are you dito sa project?
The good thing about us working with a lot of people on set is there are a lot of heads thinking about it, because sometimes, syempre, during shoots, you can sometimes you have to focus on acting, and of course, we do the back end work right after the shoot at the same time. So we have the best team, we have the best crew here in this project, and naging madali lahat. Everything went smoothly because it was all about teamwork and putting in the craft of filmmaking into everything that we do and everything that we decide on.
Okay, thank you.
Ana Cerezo.
Hello. For Sina Alden and yung production, how did this partnership come about? Parang who approached who? Or pati yung casting, how did it all come together?
I think first with how this movie came about. Last year, or 2 years ago, I've like my company, which is Myriad, already had like side trips in the US to look for partnerships and opportunities. So of course, there's been quite a fair share of partners that nag-yes to us, but so far the one that moved fast was the partnership between Los Angeles and Myriad and with this project. In terms of casting, maybe I think, Keone, would you like to answer that question, like how the casting went for the project?
Sure. The casting on this actually was pretty quick, and it was quick because we knew we wanted to work with Alden. You know, the script was crafted with Alden in that role, so that we knew that we had a project that actually worked with his character well, and so forth. And then again, Kat and Byron I worked with before. Byron had done a lot of action movies with, and Kat we did a Christmas love story. So this was very different. So to bring in people who I knew actually could fit the roles we had there, and then meeting Max, and you know the other local cast and so forth, and some great cast, some great local cast. We were able to really put it together quick. Once our boots hit the ground, it went really quick. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that all the legwork was done by Bernard Sawyer, Lux, and obviously all these companies. So you know, it felt very comfortable to just jump in. It felt like I did everything.
Thank you. Maging antagonist. Ano yung na-realize mo na, ganito pala to, or rewarding, or fulfilling, or anything part na, ito pala yung experience ng pagka ikaw naman yung kontrabida?
Actually, playing any role, protagonist, antagonist, you know, is just, it has different sets of challenges that comes with it. So it's a matter of how you handle it and how you approach it in your knowledge and understanding of the craft, which is acting. And being an actor, that's my obligation. And I think we know that it's hard, well, challenging to transition from a certain image that you're known for and then going to something that's so new. But I think reinvention is very much present. It should be very much present in our everyday lives so that we can create something new, we create new opportunities, we create a new thing for us, for especially us here in the industry, for people to make them interested in the things that we do. But in terms of acting, yung pagiging kontrabida, mas marami kang pwedeng laruin because the characterizations of antagonists, sometimes depending on the character, is quite eccentric and volatile. So you can play with a lot of things that you want to do with it. And the good thing is being guided by, of course, our director and writer on how to approach this role. Iba, medyo, it's a bit disturbing though because I'm not used to the feeling of being an antagonist. But I think at the end of the day, like when I saw the teaser that we have today, I think I'm gonna like this job. But let's see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nurse.
We hope so. We hope so. And you know, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So I think this is a great first step for the company, especially Myriad. And of course, we're just a starting company. We've been in the business for 3 years pa lang po. But given this opportunity to be worked with, we're just so blessed to have met these people. I mean, especially Lux and Matt and Miss Mary, Keone, and the rest of the crew, the rest of the gang. They were never hard to work with, and of course, in terms of negotiations and the things, it's just straightforward. Nothing personal, just business. But I'd like to really say that I never had a hard time dealing with them. They gave me like a lot of opportunities. It was always fair, but I think that's at the end of the day, it's always about the right people getting into the right projects and collaborations for things to happen. And hopefully after this, Myriad can go global, full on, hopefully.
For director too, we've been talking about the movie, but we've been talking about the movie, but may we know the inspiration of the story and why did you choose Alden?
The inspiration for Big Tyke for the story? Yeah, the inspiration was I found a storyline about prisons and about how people would have prisons all over, but they would give people inmates opportunities to fight in order to get out. And that was just a kernel. There wasn't necessarily a story there, but that was an interesting idea. And then as we started looking to develop the story, and then actually after meeting Alden, you know, I wanted to come up with, and again, I do a lot of action stories, but they're usually, you know, a plot-driven thing. You know, this starts, this happens, and then you're done. This is I wanted to create a world where you have like the John Wick series, where you have an underworld, and you have a whole mythology. And so this story really became, from that idea of a prison fight, it became sort of an origin story. And like I said, there's a twist. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the idea is that it's an origin story of all these people from the underworld. And you know, not all of them are bad. They might be bad guys, but the bad guys are worse than the good guys, right? And the good guys could still be bad guys. So the idea is that you're questioning what's good and what's not, but you're within a world that you built. And again, going back to Manila and going back to the Philippines, we were able to look at it and go, you know, this is a great place to tell some stories that people don't know, and to create a world. And so the whole idea of it came from one little idea about a story that I read, to meeting Alden, and obviously working with Love to bring the story to bring it to life, and then coming here and realizing it's great to just build this entire world where you can tell many stories out. Right, and so again, his character is the base story. It's a origin story. And the same with Kat's character and Max's character, and obviously Byron's character. You have these guys and these ladies who can spin off into these other stories. So it really is about building a world.
Lastly, did you really shoot in an actual prison, and how was your experience?
Yes, no, I'm kidding. We built a prison, and then we found a great factory that literally looked like a prison there. Yeah, right. And what happens is a lot of times you want in movies you want to sort of hyper-extend reality. You want it to look real, but you also want it to look super cool, right? And sometimes super cool doesn't look real. What we were trying to do is make it look as real as we could, but also push that. So we built the interiors, which gave us a lot of control, and also at the same time enabled us to utilize some of the facilities that are here, which are great. And then we have an incredible production design team on this. I mean, like one of the best. I've worked all over the world. One of the best I've ever worked in. And they were able to take an old factory and turn it into an exterior prison. So we were able to actually utilize it and to still use the idea of the environment, like Matt was saying, point the camera anywhere and it looks great, and then sort of bend it to the reality that we were trying to build. So it was actually pretty seamless.
Thank you.
Rose Garcia?
I think that you can tell about yourself. Let's start with you.
How much time do you have? I could be here all night.
Go for it. Go for it. Just pull out the IMDb. Just list it. Let's go down.
So, you would like to find out about what we have done before in our careers?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
And more. Oh.
And what?
And more.
And more?
You can also share something personal if you like.
I've been in the film industry in Hollywood for 20-some years. I've done movies and streaming series. I did a little independent movie called The Big Short. With Steve Carell, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, Ryan Gosling. Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Wu Assassin. I mean, this is embarrassing. But
He could go on and on and on, and you'd be like, oh wow, on every
What a
project.
resume, actually.
What?
What a resume, or
What? Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, and I've done 5.
portfolio you have.
Yeah, I've done 5 movies or more with Keone Waxman. Yeah.
You wrote the last one.
Yeah. We did a romantic comedy.
You wrote and starred in it.
Thank you so much. What about Catherine?
I mean, I don't want to follow that. Also, Big Short is one of my favorite movies. The economics nerd in me loves that movie so very much. So, yep. I've been working in the industry for about 15 years, I think. I have ended up in a lot of the fantasy, superhero, action genres completely accidentally, but I love it there. I get to do Comic-Cons all over the world, and I get to meet incredible people, and I get to work all over the world with some incredible people, and it's fun to tell stories that are a little heightened and in a world that's sort of an extension of our own. It allows you to sort of explore things that are beyond what we experience, but also it all boils down to the humanity of whatever story you're telling, even if it's in a prison that's used to be a factory, or if you have werewolves and vampires and half-angel demon hunters. It's all about the human experience that they go through, the things that ring true to all of us, and that's any story. That's why film is sort of a universal language.
Thank you so much. Yeah. What about Max? Max, I know na it's been your dream to penetrate, of course, Hollywood. So it is somehow parang
dream come true.
Oh yeah. Would you
Dream come
say?
true. Yes, yeah, because I know, I remember I had this conversation with Keone when I first met him. I said, like, my dream when I was younger was to like go to LA and like, to rough it up and be like a starving artist. But then I have a kid and I can't do that. So my kid is my priority. So that's why I said, if it's meant to be, then I'll get something here. And I never really thought it would happen. That's why I appreciate like Alden's efforts so much, because we've had so many productions, and Miss Mary and Matt as well, and Drea and Biani, because we've had so many productions come here and say like that we're gonna do something, and you get excited, and then nothing happens, and that happens all the time. And so this happened, and it's amazing, and it was an amazing experience, and it's just the first of many, like Alden said. So. Dream come true, to answer your question.
Okay, congrats, Mac. And another congratulations, of course, to the man, Alden Richards. Yeah. Alden, it's not every day that an actor like you can do both. I mean, producing at the same time, one of the leads in this very big project, a Hollywood film, of course. Sorry. So, how do you feel actually with that? And what is more challenging, playing the lead role or in a Hollywood film, or being one of the producers? And my second question, parang may connotation, di ba, sa mga Pinoy especially, when you make a film, an international film that was shot in the Philippines, parang ang feeling hindi siya Hollywood, parang akala Pinoy film pa rin. So, what can you say about it?
Well, number one po, I'm very blessed and proud of this project. And to answer the question on what's the most difficult role, and if by any chance you get to wear multiple hats in a project, I think it all has the same challenge and difficulties. It's a matter of how you see it. And it's a matter of perspective, because right now I really enjoy my job and I love my job. I get to express myself in the art form of filmmaking and storytelling. And I think we all have different aspects of our lives that we want to highlight and we want to show the world. And of course, with my profession, sa acting po ito. But to answer that question po, if a film is shot here, regardless if it's an international production or local, doesn't make it like it's Hollywood. It's that quote-unquote Hollywood kind of branding. Baka dito lang po yun. Because outside, because since this is going to be shown globally, maybe that's the perspective of people who's just so used to the scenery and to the surroundings of the Philippines. But for our partners, our international partners, they love it. It gives a different feel within the film. So nagulat din po ako na parang iba yung impression nila sa mga lugar dito sa Pilipinas, especially yung mga areas that we take for granted sometimes because lagi natin silang nakikita, but with the team, especially with our cinematographer and director, they're in awe of like the visuals that the Philippines has to offer in terms of filmmaking and in terms of action content.
Okay, congratulations. What a great 2026.
Amen po.
We have Natalie.
Natalie.
Oh, Natalie.
Hello, I'm Natalie from the Philippine Star. So my question is for Mr. Byron. So, having worked with Hollywood heavyweights, and a lot of Filipino actors are really dreaming of making it to Hollywood film, what advice can you give, or perhaps tips where to start and how to make it?
Wow. How to make it in Hollywood? Or just make it in the film business?
Make it in the film business and going global, especially for an Asian actor like you.
Well, there's an adage saying that, in this business that, number one, if you can think of something that makes you equally happy, in life, you should actually do that instead of acting. And I think that's generally true. And most of the actors that I know that are acting and very successful in acting, they only do it because they can't think of anything else to do. And that's generally true, yeah. So I think, look, you just have to do it. There's no second guessing it. You have to do it, and that's the only way you can know. If you're not very good at it, you will be found out pretty soon. The system will tell you that, give you that feedback. But if you have a natural propensity for doing that, then keep doing it, and try to find a way to make it work. The odds are against you. It's a very tough business, especially in Hollywood, especially today in Hollywood. Things are changing. The streamers are taking over. So, but it's still an art form. It's like singing, dancing, writing, directing. It's an art form. And if God has given you, such as Mr. Alden, a natural propensity to do something, then do it. That's the only way you'll find out.
Thank you. Well, my last question is for Director Kyuni. What are we looking at in terms of distribution? Like, is this going to the theaters or streaming?
That's a really good question. I would bounce it over to these two because they're the ones that are selling it everywhere. But you always shoot a movie for, I think, just to reach the biggest audience. And streaming has taken over as a bigger audience, but at the same time, to come and sit in seats like this and watch something on the screen is pretty cool. So you kind of shoot for this, because that's the dream, like Byron was saying, but you also want to sell it to the people who are going to give it to the most audiences as well. So again, just want to hand it over to Matt and to Mark.
So we originally were intending this movie to go for streaming in the domestic U.S. and internationally, but as we came down here and we, got to know Alden and Myriad and Vince and Mona and his whole team better, and they kind of started educating us on the industry down here. We're trying to put together a theatrical deal down here for the Philippines to show in the theater. So that is, I'm hoping that's what we do, and then it will be shown internationally. Streaming, Voltage will be doing the distribution on it and the sales. So we're not quite sure where it'll land yet. We designed it that way where we wanted to kind of shoot it first and be able to show the production value on screen. And that way, once they can see how great the film looks and how amazing the performances are, it'll have longer legs, we believe. So that was our goal with the film.
Thank you. Well, my very last question is for Director Kyuni again. So you got to work with the local production, with a local Filipino crew. So what was your impression, or what observations, good or bad? Or
Very good, and I'll tell you, and again, like I said, I've worked all over the place, and you work with different crews in different countries have, they can have different histories of why they're making movies and how they learn how to make movies. Here I realized that the crews are really, really, I forget who said it, artistic. Andrea, you put together, you presented some of these amazing, keys, and I already gave flowers to our production design team. But, the camera crews, top notch, everybody, right? And so it's been one of those things where, like I said earlier, you hit the ground running usually, and it takes a long time to get your legs back under you. Here it was pretty seamless. So very impressed with the film company here. Very impressed with the production and all the keys. Very impressed with our production team. I mean, I think they're still. I mean, we just wrapped this morning, so I think they're still like moving stuff. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Thank you so much. And congrats, Alden. Another feather in your cap.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions for anyone out in the chairs in the audience? No? Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Let's give a round of applause for our producers, our director, and our international all-star cast. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas po.